Mission is to cultivate champions. This is where athletes come to get faster and everyday people come to change their lives. This is not a gym, but a community. Come get jetted.
About to take off in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lot of y'all doubted on me. Now they like, wow, look how far you go. Legendary like all my idols, coming for it all, and I can't wait. Success just called and I got me a date, so I grabbed my ambitions and I'm on my way. Cross the wrong line and it's bad news, might get burned like a candle. We too hot to handle. World at my feet like a sandal. I only move when I plan to. Your moves could get canceled.
My name is
Guys, this show is sponsored by one of my best friends, Erica Sanchez, who's with Brows with Erica. She is one of the best persons in business when it comes to getting your eyebrows done. Make sure you go check her out at 6050 North Oracle Road, Suite H. Hey guys, I gotta tell you about one of the best Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu places out there, Nogales Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Make sure you go check them out if you're down in Nogales and say what's up to my homie Andy Behrens. What's up, guys? We are back with another episode, and it's officially the Wildcat Day. We got 2 Wildcats coming today, and we're starting off with the Tucson High Badger. We can relate on that. She's a softball stud from Pima College and now playing at the University of Arizona. I'll let her introduce herself. Yeah, we got the applause going, too.
Well, my name's Camila Zepeda, and I'm going into my senior year at the U of A.
Right. So I want to know, we're going to always start off with something fun. Mm-hmm. You ever watch that cartoon, Ned's Declassified? Man, you're making me feel old now. But there's like a scene in it where he's a 6th grader in middle school, and it's a big middle school. And everyone's just like, he's trying to get through the crowd, but the crowd's just taking him that way, like the opposite way. You ever feel like that at Tucson High, going through the bridge, like freshman year? Because I remember my freshman year, I felt like I was a little short kid trying to get past everyone.
Not really. I wouldn't really say so.
Yeah. So you just love Tucson High from the get-go then?
I liked it my last 2 years for softball.
Yeah. Did you play any other sports at Tucson, or was it?
No. I wanted to get into volleyball, but I never did.
Yeah, you'd rather hit a softball than a volleyball. Awesome. Well, I'm grateful for you coming on the show. And like I said before, I want to get into your journey. So who was the first person that put a softball in your hands, in your glove, a bat? And what Little League did you play for, or club team? Because I know some people don't even play Little League anymore.
Well, I started when I was 10, and it was my dad who basically taught me everything.
Wait, you started old then? That's
yeah.
You got some people starting at 3 years old.
No.
What was the reason for starting when you were 10 years old?
Well, it all started with Bobby at Safford. He used to have a little slow pitch team for my middle school.
Yeah.
I think.
Not Bobby the Jet, right?
Yeah, Bobby Jet.
Oh, he had a slow pitch?
Yeah, it was at Safford. And then I remember he was having tryouts, and I remember taking the paper home to my parents. And before that, I really had no interest. My dad grew up playing baseball, and I would always go watch his games. But I remember giving my parents the paper, and my parents thought that it was just gonna be for that little while, and it kind of just stuck to me. And I mean, ever since then, I just kept playing.
Yeah. So Bobby's the reason why you played softball?
Yeah.
So you weren't playing any sports until then?
Yeah, basically, yeah.
Oh, dang. So just you remember your first at-bat with slow pitch? Was it just a home run for the game? Now you got this whole story going on being a Division I athlete?
No, I mean, honestly, I do remember games that I used to play at Safford, but I mean, it was just like good memories, like good, like it's a good thing to like look at back now and like see where I am now, and it's just like, I mean, even still being able to go to Jen, seeing Bobby, it's like, it's just still like crazy to me.
Yeah. You ever say, Bobby, hey, thanks for having that slow pitch team. That's crazy, and I like that because you have this whole notion that like, hey, if you don't start by the time you're 5 years old, the club team, you're probably not gonna make it. So what was that like? Because you're starting behind. Like, I started baseball when I was 12 years old, and I felt like I was behind almost every day. What was that like? Your first time getting on a club team or little league team?
Well, I feel like when I first started, it was definitely like more difficult getting like the foundations right. Like I know I struggled mostly when I was little with like my hitting, and it was just like something that when I was younger, like I didn't really focus on like my age. I like thought that I had started like fine, and I feel like even when I tell people that I started at 10, like they get surprised, and I feel like for me that was just like I never thought that I started too late, but I'm just like, I don't know, like I think it was just very important to me. Like I really loved softball when I was little. Like I remember my dad saying that like my eyes would light up every time I talked about softball.
Or when you're about to hit a home run or something.
But I mean, definitely like once you get older, like I feel like it transforms into something different, you know, like you get older, like more things start being more important. And I feel like once you get older, for me, it was just like I enjoyed it more when I was little. Like, you know, you messed around, you were with friends, like it was just fun. And I feel like just now it's just like more of like the mental side where it's like,
oh, it's a job now,
yeah,
especially when you get to college. That's my freshman year at Western Oregon. I didn't realize I was signing up for a 40-hour job with overtime. That's awesome. So you go to Safford and you start your career at Tucson High. Tell us a little bit about that, because if I'm correct, you didn't make varsity to your junior year, correct?
Well, I had actually made varsity my freshman year. It was me with these other two girls, but you know, it started that they had too many girls on varsity, so they dropped down the freshman. Yeah. And then since my sophomore year, I was on varsity.
Yeah. Oh, sophomore. Wait, that's on me for not having all homework done. But okay, so I want to know about that, because you're with the varsity team, I'm guessing, for the whole fall and most of the winter, right?
Yeah.
What was that like, getting told like, hey, you've been with us the whole time, but sorry, you got to go down?
I mean, it was definitely like sad for me, because it's like I felt like I had shown enough and I had did enough. And I mean, kind of like when that happened, I was just, it like got to me a little, because I was just like, well, it's like, I feel like it's every like freshman's dream to like make varsity, and like I had done it, and then like all of a sudden it just got like taken away from me. But I mean, I still had fun. Like even when I was on JV, like I still had like a lot of friends, and it was just, JV is not that serious, so it's like, you know, it was more fun.
Hey man, I played a JV my freshman year. I gotta rub it in. So who are the people that were helping you during that time? So my story was, freshman year I made varsity, end of the year. Then I get dropped down my sophomore year, and I'm like, and the bad thing, my uncle's a coach at this point too. So I'm like, Thanksgiving was weird, but I was a mess, because I'm like, am I not good enough? What are they not seeing? What was going through your head when he gave you like, hey, you're going down, and who are the people that made sure you stayed in a positive light?
My dad. Like I feel like anything that comes with softball, like I always go with my dad, and like even my dad, like when that happened, like he didn't agree with it, but I mean, there's not really much you can do when it's like the coach's call, but
yeah, just work harder at that point. So your sophomore year happens. Tell us a little about what's going on then.
Well, I mean, my sophomore year, once I had made, I think my sophomore year was when we got a new head coach.
That was Rob. What was his name?
Yeah. Well, he goes by Chach.
Chach? All right, I know him as Rob. Yeah. The next time I see him, I'm gonna be like, yo, what's up, Chach?
Yeah, well, once he started, you know, I feel like he definitely saw like way more in me than like I felt like the coaches my freshman year did, and I feel like that contributed to a lot too, because it's like different coaches can have different faith in you, and like they believe in you differently, which is why like I feel my sophomore year I was on varsity, you know, I started playing more, like I was starting my position, and I feel like definitely like the people who like choose to believe in you like really matter.
They'll be there when you're at your lowest. So around what time do you start going to Jet at this point?
I didn't go until last year, my summer.
Oh, didn't you? Okay, we'll wait on that. Okay. So we're kind of just gonna take it like through your career. So your junior year happens. What changes you make? 'Cause all of a sudden, I'm looking at it now. I'm just like, you batted 488. Like that's a baseball player's dream at that point.
Well, I think still like working, like I remember every day, like my dad would always push on me to like practice and practice and practice. And like I always wanted to I always had goals that I wanted my stats from like the year before to at least be better. Not in like a lot, but I know I had goals like hitting more home runs, like hitting more, raising my batting average. And I mean, I just always had those little goals. And over like the year, I just like worked hard through it.
Yeah, that's awesome. You know, it's crazy because in high school sports, 3 games can define your season.
Oh, yeah.
What's your advice to athletes going through high school? Because the highs and lows, you got to limit them.
Oh, yeah.
What's your advice for an athlete going through that?
I mean, for me, it's just like to not really like be hard on yourself. Like I remember my last at bat ever my senior year was like a strikeout. And I remember like 4 of my at bats before that, like I literally just struck out. And I mean, that's something that's like always stuck with me. But I know like my best advice is just like not to be too hard on yourself. Like it happens, it's the game. Like softball's a game of failure. Like you're not always gonna be perfect. And like even if you work hard, like you're practicing every day, like you're still gonna go through those slumps. Like you're still gonna go through it. But I think the important thing is just to keep pushing through it, because like once you do, like literally the next at bat, like that's when it could like break open for you. And like
There's a light at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Did you guys have any deep playoff runs through your high school career?
I just remember my senior year, we made it to like the second round. I remember we won the first game and then we lost the third round, but we made it to the second round of the losers bracket.
It is what 6A and anything
Yeah.
stuff, man. We were contenders my freshman year, but when we got to 6A, it's just like, hey, we're just happy we made playoffs. You know, you had a successful high school career. You ended your career 366 home runs. You went up 4 home runs from your junior to senior year. Then you get to Pima, which you do amazing things. But, you know, we talked about the JUCO route. Was it hard? Because in club ball, softball, I remember someone I used to know, Blaze. She said she got recruited by Oregon her freshman year. Was it hard seeing all these younger folks get recruited and you're still waiting on that call?
It definitely was. Like, I feel like at that point, like, I definitely, like, compared myself to them. But then I, like, also think about, like, everybody's journey is, like, different. Like, I, like, you know, like, the saying, like, comparison is, like, the thief of joy. Like,
definitely.
Like, I know, like, it would get down on me because, like, I feel like it's everybody's, like, dream, like, to go D1, like, play D1. And, like, when I got to that point, I, like, saw girls like committing there, like I definitely thought to myself like I wasn't good enough like to get recruited to that level. But I mean, it was still the same thing. Like I knew once I got to Pima, like I still had the opportunity to go D1 even after. Like I still had the opportunity to not even D1, but it's like D2, D3. Like I know there was still more for me there, but it was definitely hard at the beginning. Yeah.
Were you committed your senior year at all or no?
Yeah, I committed during like November
your senior. How much relief was that? Because I don't think any athlete understands going in the season and not having to worry about stats really.
I mean, it was definitely like it helped a lot because it's like I knew I had somewhere to go after high school, and it wasn't especially for softball. It's like I know at one point like your career is gonna end, but I feel like I didn't want mine to end so soon, and it's just like having Pima there, like. I definitely, like, felt more relaxed. Like, I know still, like, during my high school season, like, I know I still wanted to, like, produce. Like, I still wanted to do good.
Did you still kind of had in your head, like, hey, I'm still going to try to put out to see if I can get a 4-year? Or was it just kind of you're already content for where you're at?
Honestly, not really. I was really just, like, content with going to Pima because at the same time, like, I'm from Tucson, so it was, like, home. Like, even my dad, I remember my dad even telling me that, like, it was fine, you know, staying at Pima, and then like from there, you know, figuring it out, like where I wanted to go after.
Yeah. So other than it being home, what was the conversations like with those coaches that made you commit to Pima College? What were they telling you that you liked a lot?
Well, from what I liked from Pima was like all the coaches were girls, and I feel like for me that definitely like made me more comfortable being there, you know, like I
understand it a little bit more.
Yeah, I like really got along with all 3 of like the head coaches, and I feel like that definitely helped me, you know. I remember talking to like Becca when I first like committed to there, and like she was always like very welcoming. She was always very like made sure I was always feeling comfortable. Like anything I needed, like she always found a way for me, and that's something that I really like appreciated from her, and like definitely made my like choice to go to Pima like way more easier.
What was going on in your off season? Because you did better your freshman year in college than your senior year. So did you change the workouts you were doing? Did Pima kind of change your swing a little bit? Talk us about that adjustment you made, because that's incredible. You started looking like Babe Ruth out there.
Well, it was the same thing, like still practicing. Like I remember every day I would go hit. Like even if I had practice, like I remember after practice going to the park with my dad, and like my dad would always like toss me like 3 buckets, 4 buckets. And I mean, like I feel like for me it was just mostly just like practicing like the mechanics over and over and over and over again until it finally like showed on the film.
Yeah, it definitely did, man.
Yeah.
Going from 360 in high school to 411 and with 7 home runs now and 72 RBIs. Like, Jesus Christ, that's probably all I had in my baseball career. You know, we talked about when you guys had the softball camp, the different of how many games you played. What were you doing to make sure you stayed healthy? Because going from 18 guaranteed to 56 is a huge jump. So what adjustments did you have to make with that?
Like taking care of my body?
Yeah, just taking care of it, just staying healthy. Because I know when the first time I played a college year, there'd be times I didn't even want to get out of bed.
Oh yeah, it was definitely like way like more harder. I think just for me, it was I focused a lot on like what I was like eating, drinking, and like I know I like would take my mobility like very seriously. Like I know like your body can get like very sore, you know. I remember being at school, having weights in the morning, and then having to go to a 4-hour practice after, and it was definitely like way hard, but I think I really prioritized like relaxing on my own, like, you know, getting that rest, not really trying to put too much like stress on my body.
Yeah. I mean, rest is key.
Yeah.
Even though some people like me, I hate it. Like, I'd rather work 5 hours than take a day off sometimes.
Oh, yeah.
So that happens. You have a really successful freshman year. All of a sudden, your sophomore year happens. And you have this big jump again. And one of the highlights was a 31-game hitting streak. What was going through your head? Because that's awesome. Like, did it just feel like that softball was like a beach ball at that point? And did you ever get nervous in the sense like, hey, I'm 0 for 2 right now. I need to get this hit to keep the streak going?
Honestly, yeah, that did happen to me. Like, I wouldn't really try. I remember, like, just going up to the box. I remember always I never swung at first pitch. Yeah. Like, I remember it was basically, like, all of that my dad taught me, you know. I remember, like, depending if I had runners on, like, that also, like, dictated a lot of, like, how I would hit. But, I mean, definitely, like, I would get, like, really nervous. With Pima, we'd always play doubleheaders, and I remember the first game, like, I didn't get a hit, and I was like, oh, like, there goes my streak. I really didn't try to focus on it, because I feel like if I did, I would try to, like, change a lot of what
start getting nervous, like, kind of like you're 3-0, you're like, I don't want to walk at this point.
Yeah, I didn't even know that I had a hitting streak until I remember I saw Pima would always post, like, game recaps, and I remember I saw it there, and then I remember, like, my coach, Becca, like, she's very superstitious, so she never wanted to, like, say anything.
Yeah, you can ask him. Being superstitious is 100% okay.
But, I mean, I was fine. I think I lost that hitting streak when we were, like, in nationals, like, the last game that we played, so.
Oh, man. Did someone say, like, hey, you got 31 today or something like that?
No, but, I mean, I was kind of fine with, like, it ending there because, I mean.
Yeah. Dude, I had my longest one in college was 14. And we were going to Shasta College, and we're driving, and the guy that never plays the course looks up stats, and they're like, hey, you know, you've gotten 14 hits in a row, or 14 games in a row. I got so pissed off because freaking go 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts. With long gap, I got walked twice, and the first at bat that I got struck out on was 12 pitches. Next one was 13, and the whole ride back, I'm just staring him down like, you ruined that. Yeah, that's awesome. So you were said around this time you start going to Jet, right? What was that like? Because my first day, I remember having Pima College here. And I told him my first day, I just got done with the bodybuilding competition. I'm in the best shape of my life. And then I'm thinking I'm going to roll through this. I run to my car and kind of hide and, you know, like throw up all over the place on the floor. So what was your first day like?
Honestly, it was bad. I remember, like, twice. I remember like throwing up. It definitely like it's hard. Like I feel like it doesn't look as bad, but like once you actually do it, like it
It's
kicks.
different.
Yeah.
What were kind of the things he changed? Like when I first went in, he's like, dude, you don't know how to run. You don't know how to lift right. What were kind of things they kind of told you your first day?
My running mechanics.
Running mechanics.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez. So do you have like a story from there? When I had the Pima girls on, they told a story about the sled pushes.
Oh.
Is there like a day where you're like, oh my god, if I can get through that, I can get through anything?
The plate pushes.
The plate pushes? Oh man, we can tell us to do those more. Oh yeah, so the Jet's really good at building strength, building speed. One of the things everyone talks about is the mentality they give to their athletes. How did your mental game change after you came to Jet?
I think it definitely helped me. Like, I saw that Jose had posted, like, you know, when you work out with, like, no heat and, like, it sucks. Like, but I feel like it definitely helped me, like, be mentally strong, you know, like, working out. Like, I tried pushing myself more. Like, Jose would always, like, emphasize on, like, going up in weight, and that it was, like, always up to you. And, you know, I always had the goal where, like, obviously everybody wants to get better. Everybody wants to get stronger. And I definitely think that, like, Jet helped me put that mindset where, you know, I want to become better. Every session that I get, you know, I at least want to go up, at least if it's 5 pounds, something. But it just really helped me, like, want to improve myself.
Yeah, because, I mean, they see, like, just like how you said other coaches might do it. They see something in you can't even see yet. Sometimes that might be fainting on the floor, but it's all good. You know, we're talking about streaks a lot. One thing I want to pick your brain on, what is a team like when they've won 26 games in a row? I think your guys is tied for the second longest all time at Pima. What was it like that day before? Because I remember in high school, we were like 1-10. Mark Morris pulls us aside and says, "Hey, Tucson High doesn't miss playoffs," and that's all he said. And then all of a sudden, we won 15 in a row. Was there something like that? And what was the team chemistry like that, winning 26 in a row?
I don't think there was really. I think we didn't know, like, the same thing. We didn't know about the winning streak, and I was actually very superstitious about that. Like, I remember, like, the girls, like, when we would extend it, like, you know, they'd be yelling, "Oh, 25, 25." But I'd always just be like, "No, like, you know, don't
like,
say
shut
anything."
up.
Yeah. But I mean, my sophomore year, like, that team, like, I wish that I could stay with that team, like, and play with them forever. Like, we literally got so along. Like, you know, it's like as normal, you know, you go through issues like as a team, but I feel like towards the end, like, we really, like, all came together. You know, we all wanted to win, like, a national championship. Like, we at least all wanted to go to nationals. And I really think once we got to regionals, like, I can't even describe that team, like, just how everybody was just, like, connected. Like, everybody was pushing towards that same one goal, you know, even if everybody's, like, role was different, you know, like, we all played for each other. And I just feel like that's what really, like, matters when it comes to the chemistry of the team.
You guys went to the World Series, correct?
Yeah.
What was it like dogpiling once you guys won that regional to go to the World Series?
Honestly, for me, like, it was the best thing ever because I remember my freshman year, we lost in regionals. And I remember that exact same spot where I was standing at second was, like, the same exact spot where, like, I saw everything, like, we lost. And just, like, being able to be on, like, the other side of winning, like, it was just something so, like, surreal. Like, you know, you get chills all over your body, like, you're just happy, like
out-of-body experience.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that being on the other side of it it's the worst feeling as well, especially the bus ride back sometimes. You know, with all the success you had, Player of the Year, first team All ACCA, then you get blessed with more opportunities. Talk us a little bit what the recruiting process was like after JUCO.
Well, I had, like, can I say, like, the offer?
Yeah.
Oh, well, I had went to Lubbock Christian University, and they were offering me full ride. And I remember when I was at, when we were at the World Series, that's when they wanted me to go visit. But I just, like, at the same time, it's like I was very, like, blessed to be able to get those opportunities. But I, like, wanted to go all out my last 2 years, and I never took the visit over there because I felt like once I went over there, I was just kind of like committing there, and I just didn't want for it to seem that way or for like me to feel that way.
Yeah.
So I remember like telling my coach that I like wanted to go all out my last years, and that like I wanted to go D1. And like in my head, I was even like, well, if I don't go D1, like, that's it, because it's like,
Oh, so you didn't want it was D1 or bust
yeah.
at that point? Oh, dang.
And it was just like, because it's like I had worked all my life for this, like as a little girl, like I feel like it's everybody's dream to like at least play here in Arizona, or like just in general, like go D1. And like, I don't know, I just wanted to like be, my last years, I just wanted to be like fine with myself and saying, you know what, well, I went D1, like I wanted to reach that goal, because I felt like if I would have went, like, let's say to that school, like I would have always thought like, oh, like what if, or like what if I tried, like what if I did this. And
You just want no regrets at that point. That's awesome. So you go to the U of A. What was that conversation like with Coach Lau, right? What was he telling you that just made it feel like, hey, I'm okay doing this now. I'm gonna stay home and be a Tucson superstar at this point.
Well, the coaches are very like, they're very welcoming. Like I get along with all of them like very well. And I just feel like it's the same thing, like just how they like interacted with me. Like they always made sure that I was feeling comfortable, that I was feeling welcome. And like even with the girls, like they were all very like, accepting with me. Like I got along with them like all very well. And I think just like being there, it's just like, it's like, I don't know how to explain it. Like
It's a family vibe going in open arms.
Uh-huh.
I mean, that makes stuff easier, especially when things are going up and down. What was the difference between JUCO ball and Division I baseball?
Definitely like
softball.
Definitely like the speed of the game. Like at the U of A, like everything's much faster. Like I remember my very first practices, like everything was so fast paced that I remember like even having to like pull myself to the side for a little, and like, cause I felt like I was getting in the way sometimes of like drills, because like
Oh, jeez.
cause like I was like, I was like much slower than like all the girls there, and like I just remember that, like I remember telling Jose that I just felt like a lost puppy, like my head turning everywhere, because like that's literally what it is. Like you're standing there and like balls are just flying like all over, and you just have to learn how to like adapt fast. Like even with everything, like getting rid of the ball so much faster. Like you can't just like wait on balls anymore. Like there's like righties getting out of the box in under like 3 seconds.
Jesus
and like
Christ.
and like just everything is just so much more fast.
Yeah, I can already feel my Tucson High team scared of that, because I get pissed off if it's under 4.2 for someone running. You had all the success everywhere you've gone. You've been a starter. You've been one of the top dogs. You come to U of A, and everyone's a top dog at that point. And one thing I want to get into, because a lot of athletes, this happens to. It happened to me when I went to CSU Pueblo. What was it like kind of feeling like you might be in the middle of the road? Now you're just fighting for playing time. How did you get through a year like that? Because for me, it was just like I would try to journal. I'd go back the next day, and it looked like I was reading a sad story or something. How did you get through just being positive throughout the whole year?
Because that's where I wanted to be.
So you're home.
Like every day, like I remember going there, and like I always like thought to myself, like how lucky am I to like even be here, like where the practice closed. Like I was always very grateful for being there. And like it's just something like so surreal, like even I just like never like could have like, I don't know how to say it, like I feel
It's
like
a
I'm
dream come
rambling.
true.
Yeah.
No,
like
that's
it's like a dream come true. Like I remember just like thinking that like how lucky am I, like I was the one that wanted to be here. It's like I think a lot of girls would like want to be in my situation, and like that's what I always thought about. Like it's definitely like I like the challenge of like where I have to like improve. And like I definitely think that Taylor Beal was at Shore, and like she won defensive player of the year. And like I definitely think that helped me even become better, because it's like I would practice behind her like every single day. And I definitely like, even when I was struggling, like I'd go to her and be like, hey, can you tell me if I'm doing this, and like she would always give me advice. And I really think that helped me become like so much better at my game. Having like it's like you have like competition everywhere you go.
Yeah.
And I definitely feel like that, like I love that, because I feel like that really helped me like improve in everything, like it made me feel much more comfortable, like playing my position. Like it really helped me a lot.
Staying at shortstop no matter what.
Yeah.
That's awesome. And will she graduate or is she still there this
No,
year?
she's my year.
She's your year. So what's going on now? Because now like just from all the success you had, I bet you feel like you got a little chip on your shoulder. Like it's this year. This is your last year, correct?
Yeah.
So what's going through your mind to make sure this year counts? What adjustments have you been doing with Jet to get stronger, faster, so you're able to maybe like find somewhere on the field to play?
Well, I really, for this year with Jet, I feel like I've really focused on like staying in shape, like especially like my running, you know, like I want to become faster. And I just think, what did you ask again? The second part?
Basically, what's it like having a chip on your shoulder?
Oh, I don't know. I just don't like to like.
Oh, you're just saying positive through it.
Yeah.
I love it. That's awesome. You know, that's the right way to do it. Yeah, I take that one because I come from like a MMA dad, so everything was just like hard knocks sometimes. But that's awesome. You know, you look back at your career so far, going to your last year. What's one thing this whole softball journey has taught you?
To not, I feel like that, to like not be so hard on myself. Like I know growing up when I was little, like my dad was very hard on me, and you know I feel like that helped me get into that mindset where like I think towards my last, especially like my last 4 years of my career, like I had to adapt my own mindset because I feel like with my dad, you know, I was even very hard on myself, and I felt like that really took control of how I went through my game. Like I remember, you know, it's like you play bad and you know, like you're like down on yourself, or I like had to learn how to become like a team player, you know, like I make an error, like, you know, okay, so what, like, you know, move on to the next. Like I can't let that affect my team, or like just because I'm going through something, like it's nobody else's fault except for mine. And I just feel like throughout my career, you know, I could see how I've developed with that, and I feel like that definitely like helped contribute to, you know, my career, like my stats. Like I think, you know, once I was going through slumps, I feel like that really takes a toll on like the mental side.
One or two slumps you actually have.
But you know, I feel like, you know, when you're going through it, like I just feel like it's very important to like just keep pushing through it. Like I remember always telling my dad, you know, if I'm like going through a slump, like I'd rather just go practice, like, and get it out, because at one point, like it literally just takes a hit, and from there, like everything opens up.
That's awesome. You know, that's just the right mindset to have in life, and Jet does a really good job just teaching the people that are on staff that as well. I really appreciate you being on.
Thank you.
Like I said, what's one game you're looking forward to for your last year? I'm pretty sure I know what it is. I just want to hear.
Which one? You tell me.
ASU. You don't like the rivalry one?
Well, yeah. Honestly, yeah. Like when we were over there, I remember all the games selling out.
And stuff, or is there fans shit talking at all?
Not really.
Oh man.
I wouldn't say when we were over there, I didn't really hear anything. But I remember like when we were in regionals, like with Ole Miss, like it was just like a crazy, you know, it's like the parents were going at it, and it's just like.
That's awesome. Because you guys hosted this year, right?
Uh-huh.
Oh man, I could already imagine that. That's awesome. Well, thank you for being on. Happy 4th of July. Where can people find you? And always at the end of the show, always let people give shout outs to family, friends, coaches. So that's your chance. You can look at that camera right there.
Well, shout out to my parents and to Bobby, Jet, and Jose.
Yeah, for making that slow pitch softball team. All right, guys, we're going to continue the day. We got Evan Nelson next. It's a U of A Wildcat Day, and I think it's a bad time to say I'm an ASU fan. Peace.